Hey guys, I'm back for another video. I told you I would try to knock out Leo, so here we go. First things first, talking about sun. Sun is your drive, your will, what moves you in life, the vehicle that you're in, the place in your chart that's the most lit up, so it's how you self-identify most likely, and it's also where your flaws are that you may or may not see. Sorry, I got a text message. So we're talking about Leo. Leo, it is ruled by the sun. So this is like crazy. You would think Leo would be exalted in, the sun will be exalted in Leo, but I think it's exalted in like Aries or something like that. Let me know down below if you know for sure, because I'm literally going off of something that I read like 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, I don't think it's exalted here, but nevertheless, sun is home in Leo. So when you want to talk about Leo, first of all, it's sorry, not a cardinal sign, it's a fixed sign, opposite Aquarius. So Leo people and the sign of Leo tends to be very self-determined, very self-assured, very driven in and of themselves. They have goals in life, and a lot of times, depending on where the other planets lay, they may or may not be shallow goals, or they could be very passionate people on the other end of that spectrum too. But nevertheless, they are just really kind of a energy that does not like change unless they initiate it themselves. They don't like a lot of outside change going on, and they do like to sort of be the center of attention. And that doesn't always mean that they want a lot of attention on them, because every Leo is not that way. Because I know Leos, for whatever reason, get the stigma of being like what's the thing, like they want to be celebrities, or they just want to be seen, or they want to be heard, or whatever. And sometimes that is true, because with Leo, and then the 5th house is like the house of fun, the house of short-term affairs, the house of childlike activities, childlike vigor, energy, risks, and just fun. So with that, it kind of gives you that Hollywood center stage, like let it all loose, and everybody's watching me, and I'm the one type of feeling, you know what I'm saying? But really, I feel like more so Leos just want the respect at the end of the day. Like, they just want to be revered in a certain way. As an Aquarius, their opposite sign, I kind of identify with that, and it's not always as shallow as people make it out to be. But like I said, those other planets definitely have a lot to do with how they might come off. So with Leo's sun, these people tend to be very bright personalities, very bright, shiny, they're extravagant sort of in their aura, and a lot of times they don't even try to be that way necessarily. It's just sort of like a way of being, and they can be very childlike in that, like Jennifer Lopez is a prime example. Baby girl about to be like 50, you know what I'm saying, and she still looks just as good as she did, if not better than she did in her 20s, because she just lives life and she just wants to have fun. And like I said, that 5th house, short-term affairs whole thing, she's always looking for love. Like, she's never in that place where she's like, no, I'm too old for this, or I can't try anything new, or even long-term relationships. I feel like they do like long-term relationships. Like, if a Leo can find someone who can stand up to them and be like the other side of that coin, like, they probably would need a more supportive behind the scenes type of partner, because Leo, my bad y'all, we dealing with this iPhone camera until I can get my camera fixed, so I'm back. But Leos do tend to be they tend to want the center stage in their lives, so if they are going to bring another person in to be a partner, you need to either have your own life to worry about, where, like I was saying, unless as far as partners goes, Leo do like to be the center of their lives. So I have witnessed them being able to engage in relations with people, like another person that might have a lot going on in their lives respectively, and kind of balance that out. But they just need a lot of attention if that's going to be the case. Like, if you're living bi-coastal, you know what I'm saying, one of you's in LA, one of you's in New York, there needs to be regular flights happening, you know what I'm saying? You need to be on that level of like running your own shit to the point where you can come see me when I want to see you, or you can fly me out. Or they're just not fucking with that idea. They'd rather be the center of their world, the center of their universe. Oh, excuse me. Now, with that being said, that can go one of two ways. Leos can be some of the most charitable, giving, energetic people that you can have on your team. If your energy meshes with Leo's energy, you can definitely come up with some crazy ideas. You know, they're willing to go to new heights and try new things, extravagant things. They have a lot of very, very good explosive ideas as far as how to get attention. That's just kind of like a Leo. It's just a talent of theirs, man. It's not something that they can necessarily cut off. My daughter's a Leo, you know, and she's just like, I remember when she was real little, like 3, 4, you know what I'm saying? Like barely even had friends or anything in the neighborhood. And other kids started moving in our neighborhood, and we have a swing set in our backyard. So, you know, after discovering that we lived here and they would come and play and stuff like that, like every time my daughter would go outside, she'd step her big toe out on the pavement, and every kid from like down that block, down this block would be right there like, hey, can we play? Like, they just attract people. People like them. People want to be around them. People want them to be their friends. Anytime I go to my daughter's school, there's at least like 3 little girls. Jade is my best friend. I'm like, wait, but how are all of you guys her best friend? Are all of y'all friends? No. Well, how are all y'all friends with Jada then? Like, how does that coincide? I probably should have said her name, but it is what it is. Y'all will get to know more about me. Just don't stalk me, please. I don't have time. But yeah, so but I make sure to keep her in a humble place of understanding that everybody does not have that level of attractiveness, and it has nothing to do with relationships or sexuality or anything like that. It's just literally, it's an energy. And everybody doesn't have that magnetic pull on people. And so when you see somebody that may not have as many friends, that might be the person you need to go sit with at lunch and say, hey, you know, are you okay? You know, you invite them to come with you, or invite, you know, just use your energy for good. Don't use it to shun other people, because less evolved Leos can be very, very bitchy. They can be very mean. You know, I think of the Regina George type. We wear pink on Wednesdays, honey. Like, they can be a little bourgeois. They can be a little dismissive to people who don't agree with their ideas, because as a fixed sign, they believe what they believe. And if you're going to be in their presence, then they would prefer for you to believe the same things. You know what I'm saying? That makes them, that's like a bonding moment for a Leo. If you can come, you know, start talking about something random and y'all both discover that you feel the same way about something, that'll make a Leo take a liking to you, because they like agreeableness. They like people who agree with them in their antics and their tactics and things like that. But like I said, for the less evolved ones, if you don't agree with them, then they'll either get snippy with you and be a little argumentative, i.e. Regina George, or like try to challenge you, because Leos are they're not necessarily argumentative, but they are a little combative, in that they don't back down from a fight most times, and it probably won't get physical, even though they are a fire sign. You know, people tend to say fire signs are more explosive and things like that. I noticed that Leo tends to explode with, like, it's less physical, it's more like mental, or like verbal, or more on a social scale, I guess you could say. They'll try to embarrass you, outdo you, make you feel less than. It's like an internal battle. Like, they'll fuck with your psyche, they'll fuck with how you think about yourself, and have you feeling like, you know, like, did this bitch just try me? You know what I'm saying? Like, this bitch and all this glitter, she came in here with this glitter on, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just have a way of being very direct, but at the same time, I could care less. Who? Mariah Carey said, who? I don't know her. She's an Aries, but that's such a fire sign, you know, a Leo thing to say, kind of. Who? I don't know her. And ironically enough, she was talking about a Leo, Jennifer Lopez, when she said that. Now, as far as the men, you know, because I really was talking about the women kind of there, but the men, they tend to be still bougie if they're less evolved. They see themselves as a little bit higher on the scale, because they're used to receiving a certain amount of attention, most times from childhood. Leo little boys are the ones who kind of want to be seen, want to be heard, want to be known. They want to be, you know, in the school play. They want to be, you know, just kind of active and seen. They like to be revered a certain way. And when it comes to dating and women, they can, if they're not in touch with their humble side, you know what I'm saying? If they're not in touch with their side that's like, you know, I'm special, like I'm an individual, but I'm not, you know, the only special person on the planet. Like, they can be really cool, like I said, very giving, very communal, very inclusive, you know, when they want to be. But if they're not in touch with that side, they can be real dismissive, and they can be some jerks, like Jersey Shore level jerk. Like, they can turn out to be womanizers. They can turn out to be just the guy that's like way more into himself than he is his girl. Like the guy that spends more time in the mirror, like perfecting his coif, you know, than his girlfriend takes to do her makeup. Or like, baby, let me use your spray tan type of guy. Like just doing the most for no reason. And you be like, am I the girl or are you the girl? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you out here on your pretty boy stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? Even if they're not on their pretty boy, they still act like it. They still have that demeanor. Like, they shit don't stink when they're out with their boys, and when they're trying to like holler at chicks, or, you know, they at the club or whatever. Like, he's gonna try to show off. He's gonna get a bottle. He's gonna walk around the club with it. You know, like they just have a, Leos just know how to stunt, baby. I'm gonna say that, because for good or bad, because I have some Leo friends, honey, who have aided me in the stunt, and sometimes you need a good stunt. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need a good little moment, you know, to show these people what's up and everything like that. But you know, you can kind of tell a well-placed Leo with how they use it. Do they use their powers for good, or do they use their powers for evil? Yeah, you know, and with Leo, they are the type of people where when they have it, they give it. So they're kind of like, if you have it, they expect you to give it. It's almost like a, I noticed with Leo, they can be a little self-centered. They can be a little bit like, you know, that saying, the you act like the world revolves around you. Well, ironically enough, our solar system does revolve around the sun. You know, so this is annoying, but yeah, I was just saying, you know, they can be a little bit self-centered, you know, even just in their thought process. I don't think that is something that they do purposefully to be vindictive or spiteful to other people. I just really honestly believe that Leo's perspective on things comes from a very, okay, this is the way that I think about it, because Leo and Aquarius are opposite signs, right? As an Aquarius, sometimes I have that higher than you guys, you know, like I realize that I have that perspective sometimes, and I'll say something and I'll catch myself and be like, damn, that was kind of messed up to say. Like, who gave you the right to say that? Like, why do you feel like, you know, you're one of many? You know, when you talk about 11th house Aquarius things, the one of many, the one in the collective. So Aquarius want to feel unique and different and original, and they want to feel special, like they're one of a kind, right? So when you want to talk about opposite signs, wherever you have that relationship, it's a very usually a similar, what's the word I'm looking for, paradigm on the other end, I guess you could say. So with Aquarius wanting to be the one of many, right, it's kind of like, but we feel inclusive and we want to do things for the community and blase, we want to be humanitarian and by nature. Leo is the same, except for Leo just wants to be the one. But, you know, but they still will be very charitable. They still will, you know, help their community, and they want to be seen as nice and polite for the most part, unless they get too big in the head, or unless you try them. You know, for the most part, they want to be seen as someone who is very gracious. Think Obama. You know what I'm saying? He's a perfect example of a good Leo. And these people, you know, can view life as their stage. And so the fact that they're so flamboyant, but not even necessarily flamboyant, because like I said, it's in a gracious type of way. But, you know, Obama, he wasn't showing them no wearing no shabby suit, honey. His wife did not look like crap on a plate, honey. She was dressed to the T's. Every year their style upgraded a little bit, and you know, they love to come off as classy. That's a Leo and a Capricorn. Michelle's a Capricorn, so they want to be seen as high status, high class. You know, we go high, they go low. It's that energy of just understanding that everybody don't got the jewels like these. So they just know how to kind of work a room, how to work an area, how to be seen as an individual. But it's a lot more, I guess you could say, based upon the fact that everybody else is kind of like peasants. You know that little meme? I know you guys know what I'm talking about. That Blue Ivy meme where it was like, they were in New Orleans or something like that, and she was like, just look at them down there, all regular and poor. My best Leo friend, he called me cracking up, dying, talking about that damn meme. He was like, that tickled a certain part in his soul, because I feel like deep down, he knows that feeling, like, look at him down there, just regular and poor. You know? And it's funny because they don't really mean much by it. I just feel like, you know, everybody has certain glasses that they see, you know, life out of, and Leo just wants a divine existence. Leo really feels like they're bred in order to be in a certain place in life. And I feel like on the opposite scale of that, Aquarius is that same energy. It's just in a little bit more of an airy type of way. Fire is very quick and explosive and in your face, and like, you know, woo, fire. So, you know, and then other Leos can give him a real bad rap, because I'm trying to tell you, when a Leo goes rotten, they've gone bad forever. I think I've given you guys I talked about male and female. So basically the guys, I feel like they can be really good partners in love if they're in touch with their romantic selves, because they can be really like they want to use that showiness and that giving ability. They be the type of guy to like set up a table, a candlelit dinner with like rose petals on the way to the table and stuff like that, and be like, baby, let me carry you to bed. And in bed, they always want to be the best. Honey, let me tell you, in bed, Leo men want to be the best you've ever had, ever will have, ever could imagine. So even if they're not necessarily, you know what I'm trying to say, they're going to show out. They're going to do the best that they can, honey. And Leo women tend to be kind of like the same in that respect. But they view love sort of as like a fairy tale. So if you do get into it with a Leo woman and you want to impress her, you've got to woo her. She's not, I mean, she's got so many guys probably knocking down at her door that, you know, if you don't stand out, if you're not able to put her on a certain pedestal and treat her in the way that she's always dreamt of being treated, she's probably not gonna fuck with you one way or another. So I think that's pretty much everything that I have off the top of my head. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't take no notes on Leo. I just kind of went off what I was feeling. So if you guys are Leos, or if you know any Leos and they meet up to the description that I just gave, leave me a comment below and tell me you know, what aspects they can relate to, and if they didn't, tell me what I missed. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about the conversation. I love to talk to you guys. Make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, because I'm making this way more of a regular thing now. I'm gonna try to put out like a few videos a week from here on out. Well, don't even hold me to that. Shit, don't hold me to that. But, you know, I'm gonna try to put out as many videos as possible. And, you know, if you guys would like to support me on Patreon, that link is down below, so that I can continue to put out these videos at such high volume. And I don't know if I told you guys, but I do music. So if you want to hear my music, if you want to, you know, check out my video that I have out right now, you can go to my website. It's nellecole.com. I got the hyperlink for that down there too. And of course, if you guys want a reading, check out my tarot readings on my channel that I did for March this year. As well as, you know, you can get a personal reading from me. All you have to do is email me at Nelle for High Vibe. That's down there too. And it's at gmail.com or whatever. But I'll tell you how to move forward with that process so that we can go ahead and get you in there like swimwear. And I love Leos, dog. I'm trying to tell you, like, they're the perfect yin to my yang. Like, yeah, as an Aquarius, I can be a lot more modest than them and a lot more muted, but at the end of the day, we always have the same thought process. We just do things differently. But I always understand exactly where Leo's coming from, because it's like they're my sun sign sister. So I love you guys very much. Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you next time.